Hello, I'm Josh,
And I'm Cam.
and this is
Vaping and Baking. Yeah, let's go.
So I'm Josh. I'm a history graduate. I studied history down in Plymouth, in the southwest. I'm also a motorcycle enthusiast, and I work in a hospital.
And I'm Cam. So I'm an artist. I paint landscapes mostly, but also interior scenes. I like doing cross-country walking. I skateboard. I play music as well. I just like doing things. And vaping is one of those things, and it's awesome.
Absolutely. And the reason why we're doing this is that we both love food. We both love baked goods in particular, and so we kind of thought wine pairing with food is a thing. Why not make vaping pairing with baked goods a thing? Because there are so many great flavors out there that can be paired with such amazing food, and so that's kind of where we're going with this.
Absolutely, and like kind of sensory wise, the two things go well together because vaping is, as opposed to kind of smoking cigarettes, vaping is a lot more like the kind of experience that you have with food. I think.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Here we go, an exciting endeavour. And in terms of our ethos, where are we going?
Well, bringing great bakes with great vapes.
Great
is essentially
vapes.
What we're going for.
With great vapes.
And in terms of future content, so obviously this is our first video. The sort of things that we want to do with it, we want to take you through baking tutorials. We'll both be doing that, taking in turns. We want to be reviewing juices. We want to get to know the vaping community out there a bit more. And we want to promote small businesses as well.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
both.
So many vape shops are small, independent businesses, and it's fantastic to push because there's a real community being grown.
Sure. And we're also going to be pushing for different issues around environmentalism, stuff like that, because obviously vaping does have a big environmental impact, and it's something that we've got to be aware of.
Especially with little plastic bottles, but we're going to try and change that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Find a way to change that.
For sure. And so today we've got a Lemon Bamm by Marvellous Brew, and it's got a picture of a lemon tart on the front, so I think it might be a bit lemon tarty. And we're also pairing this with a lemon drizzle cake.
Baked by Josh.
Absolutely. So what do you want to do first? Should we try cake and then vape?
Yeah, I suppose we take a bite of the cake and then,
Let's do it.
Oh, lovely.
That's good, man.
That's incredible. That's a really good cake, man.
And actually, so this is a really simple recipe. It's just 150 grams of butter, 150 grams of sugar. Mix that up in a bowl. Add 3 eggs. Whisk that up a bit more. Add 150 grams of flour. I then also used the zest of 1 lemon and a really nice dessert spoonful of lemon curd. And I feel like the lemon curd.
Oh, the lemon curd comes through. That's a nice touch, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the crispy drizzle of sugar on the top.
Yeah, and again, that's also, so that's just juice of half a lemon with, I think, about 2 dessert spoons full of caster sugar and icing sugar, but I always make that up as I go along.
Yeah,
because you kind of want to make it. Yeah, you want to make it the texture that you want it to be, and the level of drizzliness on top, which is cool. And then I bake that at between 150 and 180, usually about 180, for about 15 minutes. Stick a knife in there, or if you've got like a thin prodding thing that you can stick in it, and if that comes out clean, then it's done.
It's done.
Absolutely.
You can celebrate.
Yeah.
By loading up your vape with something lemony is what we've gone for to start off with.
Absolutely. And what are you vaping on today?
So I'm vaping on the Vaptio Tyro. So I got this as my kind of like startup vape essentially. And it's quality. I've got a sub iron vape coil in, which is 0.7 at the moment. And it's fresh, so it's kind of, the taste is incredible right
Absolutely.
now. It has a real feel. It has a real kind of like 3D feel to it. As you're vaping, which is lovely, I think.
And I'm using the Dynamo Aspire with the Vandy Vape Pulse 24 RDA on top, and this is reading out at 0.07 ohms, so really really low ohmage.
Gosh, that's tiny actually.
It's
isn't
tiny,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't recommend if you're building coils, don't build a coil that low on ohms unless you've got a good sort of head around battery safety and sort of amperage drain and stuff like that.
So that's, I suppose, something that probably we'll put into later episodes as well. Is like I'm really interested in building my own vape, and this is a good place to start. But I think we can document my journey as a kind of someone learning from scratch how to build vapes and how to make something that is really personal and really nice, I think.
Yeah, because I started off with a pen vape when I quit smoking. So I quit smoking in October of 2018, and I went onto a small pen device, a bit smaller than this one actually. The Inican T18 that I started on, and then as I sort of got to know a bit more about vapes, I kind of wanted to go up a bit more, and so I went for the Aspire Puxos with the Inican Aries RTA because I wanted to build a bit more, and that was an absolutely fantastic device. It's quite an arty kind of device as well. You've got different clip-on walls for it, which is really cool. And then I wanted to get into building even more because I found that with the Inican Aries RTA, it's fantastic. The flavour of it, and the vapour production is great, but you're very limited on the size of what you can build in it. So I wanted to go for a bigger building deck essentially, and so that's where I went to this Pulse 24, and the coils on it the size of coils and different styles of coils are really cool. So I'm actually rocking out a transformer coil at the moment, which we'll post a link to below, because there's a really really great tutorial out there, which I'll post a link to in the description below.
And that again is something that probably is worth mentioning, is that we're keen to try and connect to this sense of community that comes with vaping. I think there is a real kind of sense of solidarity there, and that's really interesting because certainly as a smoker I felt quite isolated from the rest of the world. And suddenly with a vape, it starts bringing you closer together, and that's something that it's so important to cherish, I think, in the world that we live in.
Yeah, for sure. And I've had so many times where I've sort of been out, sat on a park bench vaping away, and a guy or a girl, someone comes up, and just like, hey, you're vaping, what juice are you rocking? And they kind of just start talking to you about it. And as a motorcyclist, you find that out on the roads a lot, where you're sort of riding along and a motorcyclist will give you a nod or a wave, just because you're riding a bike. And
that's it,
And it's that solidarity, which is just really, really cool.
Yeah.
So,
and in a world that's so divided right now, it's a bit of what we need, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are your first impressions of the juice?
Okay, so I really like this. I think it's got something slightly savoury to it. And too much savoury for me has recently, that can kind of be overwhelming. But the sweetness of, I suppose it's the tartness of the lemon, isn't it? That kind of, it gives you that kind of wow.
Yeah.
And then you get this kind of gentle roll back as the kind of sugar in it hits, I suppose.
Yeah. And it's, that lemon really, really comes out, and it's got that kind of pie crust aftertaste to it, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's it actually, isn't it? It's kind of doughy and that's lovely.
And there's a sweetness to it, but it's not so sweet that it's sickly. And personally, I don't really like dessert style vapes, but this is actually really nice, really mellow.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a nice happy medium. It's kind of balanced in the middle. And what is the nicotine content of this then?
So it's 100ml. So the bottle itself is 100ml short fill. So usually you'd add 2 bottles of 10ml nicotine shots, and that brings it up to a 3. So nicotine level's nice and low on this one. If you wanted to bring the nicotine level up, you could probably drain out some more of the juice. But I vape comfortably on a 3.
Yeah, 3 does the job.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can also buy smaller 10ml bottles that are nic shots that kind of go up to much higher, so 24s, 18s, 20 in the 20 range. I personally have never tried those. I've never really wanted to try them, but I've heard a lot of friends who go to clubs and stuff, and they don't want to be outside vaping all the time, so they'll have a nic shot a nic salt.
Got you with the really heavy nicotine. So
Yeah,
that you
and
can
so they'll
just
go
take
out,
that.
have a couple of puffs, and then they're back in again.
Yeah,
Which is quite good for social situations and stuff.
And I see that's quite interesting because it's a different form. That's quite a practical use of nicotine.
Yeah.
You know, where as opposed to maybe having the lower one, which is more social. You know, it gives you a chance to kind of really sit down and enjoy the. I suppose it's ceremonial.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and that kind of like having ceremony in your life is really important because it gives you a kind of sense of stability, a sense of rootedness, rooted in the vape.
And the other thing as well is with those 10ml nic salts is that you're not then lugging around a big bottle like this. Myself, when I'm going out and about, I'll use an RTA because you've got a tank and it's more. You're not carrying around a bottle. You can just fill that puppy up of juice, and you're not then lugging around a bottle. And I find if I've got an RDA in my pocket, if I've dripped on it and then not vaped straight away, I might get a slight bit of leakage out into my pocket, which is less than ideal.
That's a nightmare.
That is a nightmare.
I feel that. Whereas I suppose I have the opposite kind of thing. Is my vape just fills, it clogs with all the kind of rubbish that's in. Like,
yeah.
I'm carrying around pencils. I'm carrying around bits of kind of like stuff that I could put into a painting or a sketch or whatever. And like because of that, everything gets clogged in here. But
yeah. For sure.
You know.
Whereas I don't carry anything in my pockets apart from my phone and my wallet, so
there you go. There we go. Different pocket usage.
Anyway, so we're going to be releasing these videos weekly, and make sure to hit like button and subscribe for us to bring you more content and stuff. We're only starting out now, so more support you guys can give us, the better. We're going to be bringing out, depending on how much sort of viewership that we get, we're going to be bringing out some more stuff. So we've got our own logo up and going. Going to bring out some stickers, some merch, because who doesn't like a bit of merch?
And try and make that environmental as well, because we want to really try and make a focus that that this can be an environment, a sustainable thing to do.
Yeah,
We've
sure.
just got to kind of like play with it and try and work out the best way to do that. So in terms of things like the plastic bowls, maybe there's a way that we can turn this to tin or something recyclable or something reusable. So we're gonna explore that. But
Yeah, for sure.
for the moment, we'll stick to our motto, which is
Great bakes and great vapes. See you next time.